Hey guys, this is Spartacus here, and welcome to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about Call of Duty World War II. And before I actually talk about this game, I just want to let you guys know that I hope you all had a great New Year's. I mean, of course, a lot of people celebrate New Year's. Some people don't actually really give a crap that it's going to be the New Year, but it's always nice to kind of celebrate the New Year, you know, like just think back of what happened in the previous year and then start a new year and try and make it better, you know. I think last year, 2017, it was probably one of the best years I have probably ever had in a really long time, and I hope 2018 can live up to the hype as 2017 did, but I doubt that's going to happen because 2017 was my senior year of high school, and so many great things just happened just last year, so it's going to be hard for this year to beat last year. But anyway, hope you guys had a great 2017 and a great New Year's, and enjoy your 2018. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about Call of Duty World War II. So I want to talk about pretty much the things about the game that aren't necessarily great and what can pretty much be improved in the game, because, you know, I think Call of Duty World War II is one of the best Call of Duty games I have probably ever played in my entire life, and I'm not just saying that just because it's the most recent Call of Duty game out right now. I mean, you think that a lot of YouTubers might say that, just like, oh great, a new Call of Duty game, this is absolutely amazing. No, I honestly believe that Call of Duty World War II is one of the better Call of Duty games we've ever had, probably better than Black Ops 2. I mean, that's kind of like a high note right there, because, I mean, Black Ops 2 is considered one of the best Call of Duty games ever made, from the community, I should say. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about what can be improved in Call of Duty World War II. So, the first thing is the multiplayer maps. I think everybody can agree that the multiplayer maps in this game are really not that great. That, honestly, the multiplayer maps kind of suck, in all honesty. There's a very few of them that I actually enjoy playing on. So probably the worst map in my personal opinion is USS Texas, but then there's a lot of other people out there that actually like the map. I personally hate it. I mean, the way the community plays it is terrible because nobody leaves their spawn, and spawn killing is easy. So if nobody leaves their spawn, you're not going to leave your spawn. They're just going to keep getting spawn killed. It's just super annoying, and that's why I don't like USS Texas. My favorite map in the game, however, I'm kind of debating on that a little bit. I'm going with either St. Marie de Mont or Ardennes Forest. Ardennes Forest, you can pretty much get spawn killed pretty easily on that map as well, but St. Marie de Mont, it's big enough to where you can't really get spawn killed that easily, so that's why I like St. Marie de Mont better than Ardennes Forest. But I don't know, I can't really keep track of which one I like better, and so a lot of people might actually disagree with me. People might actually hate those maps, you know, and so I just noticed that the Call of Duty community has such mixed opinions about this game when it comes to its multiplayer maps. You know, I've never seen anybody in this game agree upon one map that it actually plays very good. Like, you know, a Carentan, for example. I think the majority of the community doesn't really like playing on Carentan, but then I see some other people out there who actually like it. And, you know, at first I didn't like Carentan, but I've been playing it a lot more recently, especially during the Winter Siege event, and I have started to love it. Honestly, I don't mind playing on Carentan. It's actually one of the better maps in the game, in my personal opinion, and I really enjoy playing it. And so that's just one thing that I found really interesting, is that the multiplayer maps, most of them don't seem to play very great, but everybody has mixed opinions on each individual multiplayer maps, which I find quite interesting. Of course, another thing about the multiplayer maps is there's not a lot of them in the game, you know? Like, we only have 9 standard multiplayer maps in the game. That, of course, that's not included from the war maps, because that's a separate game mode. So if we don't include war, we only have 9 multiplayer maps, which really isn't a good thing in my personal opinion, and I think it's kind of a dumb excuse how maybe one of the reasons why they don't have a lot of standard multiplayer maps is because of the war game mode. I find that to be a really dumb excuse. And in case you guys haven't noticed, in the more present video games that come out nowadays, have you guys noticed that they actually have less content than games made like on the 360 or the PlayStation 3? I mean, if you look at like some charts online, you'll actually notice that there's a huge difference than the games now. Video games now have less content than video games did like 10 years ago, which is absolutely insane in my personal opinion. But anyway, yes, I think I've covered the multiplayer maps long enough, and they can definitely be improved. And hopefully with their DLC map packs, they actually can have better multiplayer maps, so that way it adds more variety in the game, and we can play on maps that actually we feel comfortable to play on. The second thing I actually want to talk about, because I actually have like 3 things in total, so the second thing I want to talk about is weapon balancing. Now, weapon balancing really isn't that big of an issue in the game, but one thing that I think is really holding it back is the bar assault rifle. God forsake, I cannot stand this gun, you guys. I have not even unlocked it. I have not unlocked this gun with an unlock token yet because I refuse to use overpowered guns in the game. My KD ratio right now is a 1.48, which really isn't a super great KD ratio. If anything, it's like a slightly above average KD ratio, I suppose. But the thing is, I like to use weak weapons, which sounds super weird. You're probably thinking, why the hell would you want to use weak weapons? The reason why I like to use weak weapons in Call of Duty games is because I know I can kick ass with them. I know that they're good enough to where I can kill an enemy. I mean, if a gun does 0 damage, then yeah, I'm never gonna freaking use it, right? But if a gun can kill an enemy no matter what game mode I'm playing, then I'm gonna use that gun, because if I can be on the top of my team using the worst gun in the game, like let's say the sawed-off shotgun, right? That's probably considered the worst gun in the game, which it kind of is, you know. Even if you're point blank of an enemy, you still can't one-shot them. It's just absolutely insane. But if I'm using the sawed-off shotgun, I have had many instances where I use the sawed-off shotgun in a multiplayer match, and I can have a way better KD ratio and a way better score per minute than anybody else in the match, because I am using the worst weapon in the game. And if these other people are using the STG, the BAR, the PPSH submachine gun, and they can't use it very well, then that kind of shows how good of a player I am. I mean, I don't really mean to show off right now, but that is kind of the case. And so the BAR assault rifle is very powerful. Literally no other gun can outbeat the BAR. It doesn't matter how much testing you guys can do, there is no way the BAR can beat out pretty much any weapon. Maybe if like someone has a Panzerschreck or something and you're like 5 feet away from each other or 10 feet away from each other, then yeah, maybe the Panzerschreck will win because it's a freaking rocket launcher meant to kill infantry, right? But the BAR, I know they nerfed it recently, but it's not nerfed enough where it's still the overpowered gun in the game, you know? It's still the most powerful gun to use in the game, and it kind of bothers the crap out of me because what we had in Advanced Warfare, which was Sledgehammer's last Call of Duty game, in that game, the BAL-27 and the ASM-1 submachine gun were literally the most used guns in that game because they were so much powerful than every other gun, which is just crazy to me, you know. And a matter of fact, in Advanced Warfare, I think one of the weakest guns in that game was the SN6, which was a submachine gun that pretty much no one ever used. But that was my most used weapon in that game because, like I said before, I love to use weak weapons and try and kick ass with them. So anyway, weapon balancing isn't too bad. Honestly, I think the BAR is really ruining the game because literally every single match I go into, there is probably 3 or more people who are running around with the BAR, and it's very, very annoying, especially if I'm using a submachine gun that's like 5 feet away from the guy and I die because the guy is using the BAR. That's just bullshit because the submachine guns should be able to outperform the BAR in close quarters when the BAR is, I mean, it's just stupid. Like, the BAR can outbeat any submachine gun no matter what range you're in, which is absolutely crazy to me. So anyway, weapon balancing can definitely be tuned up a little bit, especially the sawed-off shotgun. I can't believe they have not buffed that shotgun yet. It is absolutely insane. It's super, super weak, so I don't understand why anybody would want to use it. But the second thing, or the third thing I should talk about, is health regeneration. This kind of bothers me, honestly. I have died so many times where enemy has killed me because I have been injured by another enemy, you know? Like, I get in a 1v1 gunfight, you know, and I just happen to kill the guy, but of course I'm, like, really weak, you know, and I have to let my health regenerate. Let's say that I'm, like, sitting in a corner, I'm sitting there for a little while, waiting for my health to regenerate, and then I think I'm ready to go, but really, I'm not, and so there's another enemy there, and he's able to kill me in, like, 1 bullet because I'm still weak. The health regeneration system is super slow in the game, and I have never seen a Call of Duty game where the health regen like heals this slowly. It's absolutely crazy in my personal opinion. I will admit though, I would much rather have a slow health regeneration than having a high health in the game, I guess you could say. So for example, like Black Ops 2, I don't know how many of you have played Black Ops 2, but the health in that game was very high. I felt like I had to shoot 1,000,000 bullets into one enemy with like the AN-94 or something just to kill him. I mean, the AN-94 is a pretty good gun in the game, but the health system in Black Ops 2, the health was just so high. I felt like I had to shoot like a million hit markers into someone just to kill them. I don't know. I just hated that system in Black Ops 2. I didn't like how it took forever just to kill enemies in that game. But in this game, killing enemies isn't really, it's actually pretty average in my opinion. I don't think you kill enemies too fast. The time to kill, I should say, is pretty like average in this game, whereas Black Ops 2, it was really slow and I didn't like that. But in this game, we have slow health regeneration, which I didn't like. So literally, I'm camping my ass off like almost every game, because every time I get in a 1v1 gunfight, I always win the gunfight, but I'm on low health, so I can get shot. Like literally, if someone could throw like a sliver at me and I'll die, and it's just absolutely insane. So I don't really like the health regeneration in the game. I feel like they should make it where the healing process is a little bit faster, but even if they don't change this, I will be completely okay with it. But yeah, that's the only complaint I really have with the health regeneration. It just takes way too long. But anyway, yes, I'm already like 10 minutes into this video, and those are like really the three main things about Call of Duty World War II I really don't like. And actually, another thing that kind of occurred to me that I don't like about the game is connecting to friends. God, I have been very frustrated with Call of Duty World War II today. So I've been playing a lot today on Call of Duty World War II, and I couldn't connect to my friends. I had like 4 of my friends that I wanted to play with, but every time they invited me, every time I invited them, we just couldn't connect to each other. They're all like literally my 3 or 4 other friends I wanted to play with, they could all connect to each other, right? They could all play with each other, they could party up and stuff like that, but I couldn't. I don't know if it's my internet, I don't know if it's net neutrality like taking over right now, but I could not connect to them, and I feel like it has something to do with the Call of Duty games in all honesty, and I don't know. I don't know why I couldn't connect to him. It just really bothered the crap out of me. I think the worst Call of Duty game to ever like try and party up with your friends was probably Black Ops 3. For the life of me, I could not connect to any of my friends in Black Ops 3, and I don't know what the hell the system that Treyarch was doing in that game. It was just terrible in my personal opinion. But yes, yeah, I don't really like how the invite system's working now. I mean, maybe I just had a bad day today. Maybe like things will look better tomorrow or something like that. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. So anyway, that's really all I got, you guys. All those reasons that I said about Call of Duty World War II, the things that they can improve in the game to actually make it a more perfect, I guess, Call of Duty game, is definitely plausible in my personal opinion. But there are a lot of other things in the game, like there's probably some bug fixes that could be used. There's other things that I probably know of that I just didn't mention in this video. But I think Call of Duty World War II can be a perfect Call of Duty game as long as they fix the maps in a way, the weapon balancing, and the health regeneration. But the likely of that happening is probably none. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating for whatever you guys feel this video deserves, and of course, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more Call of Duty videos later in the future, and I shall catch you guys later.